Greenland, a land of icy landscapes and ancient mysteries, shrouded in the whispers of time. Did you know it's the largest island in the world yet home to fewer people than most small towns? From the first daring Norse settlers who braved its frozen shores to the complex ties binding it to Denmark, Greenland is more than just a frozen frontier. It's a geopolitical prize coveted by global powers, a treasure trove of untapped resources, and a front-row seat to the effects of climate change. What makes this icy giant so pivotal in today's world? Why did President Trump ignite a global debate when he proposed to buy it? And what secrets does its past hold that can shape the future? Get ready to embark on an extraordinary journey through time, as we unveil the hidden tales, the enduring struggles, and the intriguing possibilities that make Greenland a place of unparalleled importance. But to understand Greenland's significance today, we must journey back to where it all began, its ancient roots and the people who first called it home. Long before explorers and empires set their sights on Greenland, its icy expanse was home to resilient indigenous peoples. Did you know that Greenland's earliest settlers arrived over 4,500 years ago? The Sakak culture, Greenland's first known inhabitants, adapted to the harsh Arctic environment in ways that still astound archaeologists. Their tools, crafted from stone, bone, and driftwood, reveal a deep understanding of survival in one of the world's most unforgiving climates. Centuries later, the Dorset culture emerged, leaving behind mysterious carvings and remnants of their shamanistic traditions. Who were these people? How did they thrive in an environment where even modern technology struggles? These questions continue to puzzle researchers, their answers locked beneath layers of ice and time. The story of Greenland's indigenous peoples is a tale of resilience, innovation, and survival, setting the stage for the arrival of a new group of settlers, the Norse. Coming up, we uncover how Norse explorers like Erik the Red forever changed Greenland's history and what drew them to this icy wilderness. In the late 10th century, a fiery Viking named Erik the Red set his sights on an uncharted, icy frontier. Banished from Iceland for crimes of violence, Erik sought refuge on the shores of what he famously named Greenland. Did you know he coined the name to entice settlers, despite its ice-covered expanse? This clever marketing move worked, and soon, Viking ships carried settlers eager to start anew. The Norse brought livestock, farming techniques, and trade networks, creating thriving settlements in the southern regions of Greenland. For centuries, they flourished, leaving behind ruins of farms, churches, and even a bishop's residence. But what caused their mysterious decline? Was it the Little Ice Age, resource depletion, or conflicts with the indigenous Thule people? The Norse saga in Greenland is a chapter of ambition, adaptation, and eventual mystery. It's a testament to human determination, and a cautionary tale about the limits of survival in extreme environments. Next, we'll delve into Greenland's connection with Denmark and how this icy land became a crown jewel of a European kingdom. By the early 18th century, Greenland's Norse settlements had faded into history, but Europe's interest in the island was far from over. Enter Denmark, a small nation with grand ambitions. In 1721, Danish-Norwegian missionary Hans Egede arrived, not as a conqueror, but as a preacher. His goal? To reintroduce Christianity to Greenland and establish a foothold for the Danish crown. Did you know Greenland became a Danish colony in 1814 after centuries of sporadic contact? This marked the beginning of Denmark's long and complicated relationship with the island. Greenland's natural resources, whale blubber, fish, and later, minerals, were key to its value, but the harsh Arctic environment limited large-scale exploitation. For the Inuit, Danish rule brought both change and challenges. Missionaries introduced European education and Christianity, but traditional ways of life faced disruption. What price did Greenland's people pay for integration into a European system? And how did Danish rule set the stage for Greenland's modern autonomy? Let's explore Greenland's strategic importance during World War II and how the island became a critical piece in global politics. During World War II, Greenland emerged as a surprising focal point in the global conflict. Though isolated and sparsely populated, its location in the Arctic made it a key strategic asset. Did you know that Greenland provided crucial meteorological data that shaped military operations in the North Atlantic? Its weather stations became invaluable to both the Allies and the Axis powers, sparking a silent battle for control. When Denmark fell under German occupation in 1940, Greenland was left in a precarious position. The island's administrators turned to the United States for protection, marking the beginning of Greenland's wartime alliance with America. U.S. forces quickly established airbases like Bluey West 1, later Thule Air Base, which served as vital refueling points and reconnaissance hubs. But the war also brought new challenges for Greenland's Inuit population. The sudden influx of foreign soldiers introduced modern technology and cultural shifts, disrupting traditional lifestyles. Yet, it also laid the groundwork for Greenland's growing ties to the outside world, a connection that would reshape its future. As the war ended, Greenland's role in global politics didn't fade. Next, we'll uncover how the Cold War turned this icy island into a geopolitical chess piece between superpowers. In the aftermath of World War II, Greenland's strategic importance only grew. As the Cold War escalated, the United States and the Soviet Union vied for dominance, and Greenland found itself caught in the middle. The Thule Air Base, originally built during the war, was transformed into a critical hub for America's defense systems. Did you know it housed early warning radar systems designed to detect incoming Soviet missiles? Greenland's Arctic skies became the front line of a high-stakes standoff. In 1953, the United States negotiated a defense treaty with Denmark, solidifying its presence on the island. However, this came at a cost. The relocation of entire Inuit communities to make way for military installations remains a painful chapter in Greenland's history. What promises were made, and how did they impact the lives of those displaced? Meanwhile, the world's gaze turned to Greenland's untapped resources. Beneath its icy surface lay minerals, oil, and gas, riches that fueled both hope and controversy. Could Greenland's natural wealth become a solution to its economic challenges, or would it deepen its dependence on foreign powers? Next, we'll explore Greenland's journey toward autonomy and how its people began to reclaim their identity and future. In the mid-20th century, Greenland began its remarkable journey toward self-determination. For centuries, the island had been governed from afar, but the tides were turning. Inspired by global movements for decolonization, Greenlandic leaders began advocating for greater autonomy. Did you know Greenland officially became a part of the Kingdom of Denmark in 1953, transitioning from a colony to a county? This marked the first step toward reclaiming its identity. However, change didn't come overnight. The Inuit population faced challenges, from cultural erosion to economic dependency on Denmark. But through resilience and determination, Greenlandic voices grew stronger. In 1979, the dream of self-rule became a reality when Denmark granted Greenland home rule. This historic move allowed the island to control key areas such as education, health, and natural resource management. The Greenlandic flag, raised for the first time in 1985, became a powerful symbol of pride and independence. But the journey was far from over. As Greenland gained control over its affairs, questions about full independence from Denmark began to emerge. Could this icy island truly stand on its own? We'll dive now into the modern challenges and opportunities Greenland faces, from climate change to untapped resources that could reshape its future. Greenland is on the front lines of one of the most pressing global challenges: climate change. The island's massive ice sheet, the second largest in the world, is melting at an unprecedented rate. Did you know that if Greenland's ice sheet were to melt entirely, global sea levels could rise by over 7 meters, 23 feet? This startling fact has put Greenland at the center of international attention. The melting ice isn't just a warning signal for the world, it's also revealing untapped resources beneath Greenland's surface. Rare earth minerals, oil, and natural gas deposits are becoming accessible, attracting interest from global powers like the United States and China. But these opportunities come with risks. Can Greenland balance the promise of economic development with the need to protect its fragile environment? For the Inuit people, climate change is personal. Traditional ways of life, such as hunting and fishing, are being disrupted as sea ice disappears. Yet, this resilient community continues to adapt, finding innovative ways to thrive in a rapidly changing landscape. Let's uncover the intriguing modern-day geopolitics of Greenland, including why world powers are vying for influence over this icy treasure. In the 21st century, Greenland has become a strategic priority for global superpowers. Its location, in the North Atlantic, makes it a critical waypoint for military operations, while its vast natural resources have sparked interest in a world eager to secure critical minerals. Did you know that Greenland is estimated to hold some of the largest reserves of rare earth minerals, essential for modern technologies like electric vehicles and advanced weapons systems? The United States saw this strategic value as early as World War II, using Greenland as a key outpost. Decades later, in 2019, the U.S. proposed purchasing Greenland, sparking a heated international debate. Was it merely a strategic move, or was there more behind this controversial proposition? Meanwhile, other nations, including China, have expressed interest in Greenland's resources, leading to a new geopolitical tug-of-war. For Greenland, these developments are both a risk and an opportunity. With the potential for economic growth, what future could Greenland write for itself? Could it leverage its strategic position and resources to become a world power? In our next segment, we'll explore how Greenland's people are making strides toward preserving their culture and claiming their place on the global stage. Greenland's history is a testament to resilience, and its people have found ways to thrive while preserving their unique culture. Over the years, the island has experienced a cultural reawakening, with communities working to restore their heritage. Did you know that the Greenlandic language, an integral part of their identity, was at risk of being lost during Danish colonial rule? Today, efforts to revive it are a cornerstone of their national pride. Traditional practices like crafting, storytelling, and hunting have become symbols of their strength. Modern art and music reflect their rich heritage while blending with global influences. The shared aim is to carve a distinct identity that reflects their past and embraces their future. This revival is also a way to face external pressures. Greenlanders are rekindling their traditions as a way to strengthen their society amidst growing foreign interest. Could preserving their heritage be the key to their independence? Next, discover how Greenland is finding its own path to economic independence, balancing tradition and modernization. Greenland is striving to achieve economic independence, a monumental challenge for a nation with limited infrastructure and a population of just over 56,000. Its economy relies heavily on fishing, which accounts for over 90% of its exports, but there's a growing ambition to diversify. Did you know Greenland's government is actively exploring opportunities in tourism, mining, and renewable energy to reduce dependence on Denmark? The island's breathtaking landscapes, with towering glaciers and pristine wilderness, have turned it into a magnet for adventure seekers and eco-tourists. At the same time, Greenland's untapped reserves of rare earth minerals have drawn the attention of global investors, eager to partner in its development. However, balancing this economic progress with environmental sustainability remains a challenge. As Greenland moves toward a self-sufficient future, questions linger. Can this remote land harness its resources without compromising its identity or natural beauty? Coming up, we'll look at the bold vision of Greenland's leaders and how they're planning for a future where the island stands independent on the world stage. Greenland's future is shaped by leaders who dare to dream big. From local activists to political figures, a new generation of visionaries is carving a path toward independence. These individuals face complex challenges, from securing economic stability to addressing climate change, but they remain committed to a brighter future for their homeland. The introduction of the Self-Government Act in 2009 marked a turning point. Did you know this act gave Greenland greater control over its resources and the right to pursue full independence? It also emphasized the importance of preserving Greenlandic culture and promoting its language. These leaders envision a Greenland where its people thrive through innovation and sustainable development. Yet, they also recognize the importance of navigating geopolitical pressures with care. Will Greenland's leaders succeed in balancing these intricate dynamics and steering their nation toward sovereignty? Next, we'll explore Greenland's role in the global Arctic community and how its strategic alliances are shaping its international identity. As the Arctic becomes a focal point of global interest, Greenland is stepping up as a critical player in the region. Its strategic location and vast natural resources have made it an essential voice in Arctic discussions. But did you know that Greenland is a member of the Arctic Council, an international body dedicated to addressing issues unique to the polar region? Through this council, Greenland collaborates with countries like Norway, Canada, and the United States, working on climate change, sustainable development, and indigenous rights. Greenland's role in the Arctic community is also a balancing act. With increasing attention from major powers like the US and China, its leaders must navigate the complexities of global politics while safeguarding their sovereignty. Will they manage to maintain their independence and identity amidst these pressures? The island's alliances are not just political but also cultural. Greenland shares deep ties with other Arctic communities, exchanging knowledge and traditions. This interconnectedness strengthens its voice in advocating for the preservation of the fragile Arctic ecosystem, which is vital to the world's climate health. Let's explore the environmental challenges Greenland faces and how the island is battling to preserve its icy heart against the forces of climate change. Few places on Earth feel the impact of climate change as profoundly as Greenland. The island's massive ice sheet, covering 80% of its landmass, is melting at an alarming rate. Did you know that Greenland's ice loss contributes to about 25% of global sea level rise? This reality poses dire challenges for both the island's ecosystem and the world at large. Greenland's melting glaciers threaten local communities, as rising waters and shifting weather patterns disrupt traditional livelihoods like fishing and hunting. The loss of ice also exposes once inaccessible mineral deposits, raising ethical and environmental questions. Should Greenland exploit these resources to fund its independence, or focus on preserving its natural heritage? Efforts are underway to mitigate these impacts. Greenland's researchers and policymakers are advocating for global climate action while exploring renewable energy sources like hydropower and wind energy. The question remains: can Greenland lead by example in addressing the climate crisis? As the Arctic warms and Greenland's ice melts away, its geopolitical importance becomes ever more apparent. With the eyes of the world on this vast, resource-rich land, it's no surprise that even global powers like the United States are making moves to secure a piece of it. Let's explore one of the most controversial moments in recent history: the US proposal to purchase Greenland, a move that could reshape the island's future in ways we never imagined. In 2019, the world was stunned when then-President Donald Trump made a proposal that seemed straight out of a modern fairy tale. He suggested that the United States buy Greenland from Denmark. But was this idea as outlandish as it appeared? Or was it a strategic move grounded in geopolitical realities? This wasn't the first time the US expressed interest in Greenland. In fact, the Truman administration had made a similar offer in 1946, when the US proposed purchasing Greenland for $10 million. This offer, however, was not accepted by Denmark, which had control over the island at the time. Despite the rejection, the US continued to view Greenland as a vital strategic asset, given its location in the Arctic and its potential for military and resource-based advantages. Fast forward to 2019, when Trump revived the idea. For him, Greenland's geographical position was a key factor in the US's broader strategic interests in the Arctic, especially as global powers, like Russia and China, began increasing their influence in the region. Greenland's vast natural resources, particularly its rare earth minerals and potential for oil and gas extraction, also added to the appeal. Trump saw Greenland as a valuable asset to secure US dominance in the Arctic and strengthen its military presence in the region. However, Greenland's government and Denmark were quick to reject the offer, with Prime Minister Kim Kielsen stating unequivocally that Greenland was not for sale. The proposal sparked a firestorm of debate and was widely criticized, even as some geopolitical analysts argued that it highlighted the increasing importance of the Arctic region in global geopolitics. In recent years, despite the 2019 rejection, US interest in Greenland has not waned. In fact, current discussions and renewed attention on Arctic resources and climate change have continued to fuel speculation that Greenland could once again become a focal point of geopolitical maneuvering. Some believe that the US may still pursue indirect ways to influence Greenland's future, leveraging diplomatic, military, and economic strategies to gain access to its resources and strategic position. As the Arctic continues to change, Greenland's geopolitical role is more important than ever. But with growing international interest and local aspirations for independence, what lies ahead for this unique island? In the next segment, we'll explore how Greenland's future might evolve, as its people seek greater autonomy in a rapidly changing world. Greenland stands at a crossroads, its people envisioning a future where they can determine their own destiny. The push for independence has gained momentum in recent years, with growing calls to reduce reliance on Denmark. But independence comes with immense challenges. How does a small nation with a fragile economy and limited infrastructure take such a monumental step? Efforts to diversify Greenland's economy, preserve its culture, and tackle climate change are all part of this grand vision. Did you know that polls show a majority of Greenlanders support independence, but only if the island's economic foundations are strong enough to sustain it? This underscores the delicate balance between ambition and pragmatism. While independence is a long-term goal, Greenland's leaders are determined to make steady progress. They see a future where Greenland can stand shoulder to shoulder with other nations, its voice resonating in global discussions. Will Greenland achieve this dream, or will it remain a semi-autonomous region under Denmark's shadow? As Greenland moves towards a future of greater autonomy, the possibilities seem endless. From harnessing its vast natural resources to leading in sustainable development, the path ahead is filled with opportunity. But with so many challenges on the horizon, will Greenland be able to turn its vision into reality? Let's step now into the future of Greenland, imagining what this resilient island might look like decades from now. The future of Greenland is as vast and open as its icy horizons. Will it emerge as an independent nation, thriving on its natural resources, tourism, and innovation? Or will it remain an essential part of the Danish kingdom, navigating the complexities of global geopolitics? One possibility is that Greenland becomes a beacon for sustainable development, leveraging its renewable energy potential and pristine environment. Imagine a nation powered by hydropower and wind energy, exporting clean energy to the world. At the same time, Greenland's strategic Arctic location could make it a hub for international cooperation and research. However, challenges loom large. Rising sea levels, geopolitical pressures, and economic uncertainty are hurdles that Greenland must overcome. But if its history teaches us anything, it's that Greenlanders are resilient and resourceful, capable of shaping their destiny despite the odds. Will Greenland's story inspire other small nations, or will it serve as a cautionary tale? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Greenland's journey is far from over. Greenland's story is one of survival, adaptation, and unyielding spirit. From the ancient Inuit settlers carving a life out of ice to the bold visionaries of today shaping Greenland's path to the future, this land has captivated the imagination of the world. Its strategic importance, cultural resilience, and environmental challenges make it a microcosm of the global issues we face in the 21st century. But Greenland's story is just one chapter in the ever-unfolding saga of human history. What lessons can we learn from other nations that have stood on the brink of transformation? How have they navigated the tides of change, and what secrets do their histories hold for our future? Stay tuned for the next installment of The Great Chronicles, where we'll dive into another epic tale that will leave you awestruck and inspired. Until then, remember, history isn't just about the past, it's the key to understanding the future.